everybody, it's Mike Celestino from Laughing Place. We're here at Disneyland. We're gonna walk around today and talk about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. First, we're gonna get on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I'm in line right now. I'm about to board the ride because it's probably the attraction that has the best view of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge as it stands. Climbing up this final set of steps here.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga sus manos brazos
One.
Thank you. Number 3.
All right, we got row 3. Any updates for Rise of the Resistance? They haven't announced an opening date for that ride yet. As far as we know, it's going to be later in the year.
Do you like this ride? Yeah? He does. Grayson, do you also like Space Mountain? Face hurt? Why does it make your face hurt?
Because it's so fast.
Yeah? Do you like it though? Yeah?
That's why my face hurts.
Wow, that's pretty close to the front, Tyler. You got yours.
All right, we're going to be in the next one.
Tyler, you better hold on to it then.
This here's a wild ride in the wilderness.
Now we're just waiting for the next train to arrive. We'll get on that one.
Back into the first car. Well, this one, the front is the train anyway. So this is the freaking. This side. You mean how many goes first? Probably running in time right now. This side's different. This is the super scary.
And this one is us. Hi, Tiffany. Just getting on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad here. Put my hat in the bag here. Okay. Cool, so when we get to the second lift hill, we're going to crest over the top there and you have a pretty good view of Galaxy's Edge. So that's what we're looking for here. And I'll point it out when we get there. Here we go. Gotta hold on pretty tight here. Okay, here we go at the top of this lift hill. You can see a nice view of Galaxy's Edge. Look out this direction. Here it is. Less than 2 months to get to go in there. Alright. Certainly one of my favorite rides in Disneyland history, the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. We're gonna get on. Okay. So we thought that would be a fun way to start off this stream. I'm gonna stop over here and pause along the trail for a minute. Gonna pause here for a second. And I'm just gonna mount the phone on this gimbal real quick so it's not so bumpy when we're walking around. And we'll have a nice smooth rest of the stream here as soon as I get this loaded. Sorry about the craziness for the moment. Okay. All right, all set up. Okay. Now we're on the gimbal. It's going to be a much smoother walk around the park here. We're going to walk over to Critter Country and start over there because we're gonna walk along the whole perimeter of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, starting at the west entrance, which some people have said is the exit. Some people have said it's just an alternate entrance. We'll see. when it opens in less than 2 months here at Disneyland. Hi guys, hi John. John said he heard Rise of the Resistance is having technical issues. But certainly delayed than, later than they wanted it to be, because it's not opening with the land. But as some people have pointed out, it's actually probably going to be a good way to spread out the crowds a little bit, because not everyone will show up on opening day, wanting to wait until the whole land is open and both e-ticket attractions are open before they come visit Galaxy's Edge later in the year. Hi, Alyssa. Let's walk down next to the Rivers of America. It's kind of an overcast day here, not too hot, not too cold. So a nice moderate temperature day here at Disneyland in Anaheim. We're looking out over across the Rivers of America to Tom Sawyer Island. Is ducks there? Yeah. I see a duck sitting on that barrel over there in the middle of the river. There's another one just kind of floating right here. There's a duck. Here's Pirates of the Caribbean on the left. So it's National Walk Around Things Day, which I had never heard of before very recently, like an hour ago. And we thought it would be a good excuse to walk around Disneyland, walk around the perimeter of Galaxy's Edge, and just talk about that, because there's going to be a lot of news coming out about Galaxy's Edge from Star Wars Celebration next week in Chicago. And then after that, it's just going to be like a month and a half, like 6 weeks, until people can go in to that land that was announced almost 4 years ago at D23 Expo 2015 by Bob Iger. Here are the rafts to Tom Sawyer Island on the right here. People getting aboard. And then on the right also is the sailing ship Columbia. On the left, we're passing by the Haunted Mansion. There's some construction walls up here. I think they're just doing some minor refurb on the walkway, or maybe clearing some more stuff out for Project Stardust, which is just helping the crowd control around the park to make way for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Do be asked, how are the crowds and the weather today? The weather's overcast, as I mentioned earlier. It's just kind of halfway between cool and warm. So not too hot, not too chilly. Nice temperature to walk around the park. Crowds are not too bad. The posted wait time for Big Thunder Mountain was 50 minutes, and I ended up waiting about 20 or 25 minutes. So they really overestimated on that one, as they do. Better to over-promise and under-deliver, as they say. So we're coming around the corner to Critter Country. There's Splash Mountain on my left, which is running today. And then coming back around to the Rivers of America and the Davy Crockett Explorer canoes. And then this is Hungry Bear Restaurant, dead ahead. Hello, Crystal. Good morning. Good morning from Disneyland. Here's the Rivers of America again. Got the canoes there below us. And you can see Galaxy's Edge again in the distance there behind the Indian Chief, behind the new berm they built for the railroad tracks there. The Disneyland Railroad passes over those trestles back there. We're going to continue down the path and head toward, oh, look at this. There's a new construction wall up here. So it doesn't look like we can go all the way back there right now. Because look, they built this new wall here. This is just temporary, of course. Probably until, I would guess until Galaxy's Edge opens at the end of next month. So this will be the west side entrance to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, just down here and around the corner. Look, there's a wall up there too. Even if we went up to the second floor of the Hungry Bear restaurant, they put this wall up right here, dividing half of the seating area. So we can't go back there and see what's going on, but maybe we could peek through the slats here. Can you tell? Can you tell what's happening back there? No, not really. But this is going to be the west side entrance to Galaxy's Edge. We could look around the corner there, and just another fence. Can't really see much. But over here you can see the spires of Black Spire Outpost on the planet Batuu. There's a few buildings sticking up. Everything's looking pretty ready. Most of the scaffolding is down. It's all looking like they're gonna be ready for the end of May, which is when this baby opens up. So I think they did a good job blending in that rock work with the Frontierland area. Like looking at it from this vantage point, it doesn't look that otherworldly behind there, except for the space, the Star Wars-esque buildings there. But once these trees grow up, these new trees they planted when they built this new train trestle, once those grow up a little bit, it's going to block out some of the Star Wars buildings. Do be asked, what single Star Wars Galaxy's Edge thing are you most excited about? I am really excited about Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities, which is one of the shops. And if you've seen the concept art that's been going around for that, it looks like it's just going to be jam-packed with a bunch of little Star Wars Easter eggs. Because the idea behind that shop is that it's a guy, he's an Ithorian species, which means he's one of those hammerhead guys who appeared in the first Star Wars movie in the Cantina, Episode 4, A New Hope. So he's an Ithorian named Doc Ondar, and he runs this shop where he's collected basically artifacts from the whole history of Star Wars, you know, because Galaxy's Edge takes place during the sequel trilogy, the current movies, episodes 7 through 9. But Doc Ondar, this guy's collected stuff from the whole history of Star Wars. You know, the Clone Wars era, the Galactic Civil War era, all the way up through like the current timeline. And if you take a look at that concept art, you'll see what I mean. But it's just like wall-to-wall Easter eggs and little references. And there's a Wampa skin hanging on the wall, or it's like a full-size Wampa hanging on the wall, and like a crate dragon skeleton hanging from the ceiling, that kind of thing. And I'm sure there's just going to be like hours and hours worth of stuff to kind of wander around and look at while you're in there. And that's probably where I'll end up spending most of my time. As far as the attractions go, I'm more excited for the Rise of the Resistance than the Millennium Falcon because I prefer the dark ride with you know, real sets and real animatronics to a flight simulator. But I'm curious to see how the Millennium Falcon works too. Are you walk right now? We're walking around Disneyland right now.
I've been waiting. That's my favorite part.
And then I'm just, you know, I'm excited to walk around the city of Blackspire Outpost, the planet Batu, and just see how they've built that world and see all the little details they've put in and how you can interact with the environment. You know, you're going to use the Play Disney Parks app to access the interactive features of Galaxy's Edge. So you download that, kind of the way that you, if you guys have done any of this stuff in the queues that are going right now, or if you go to the fortune tellers here at Disneyland, Esmeralda on Main Street, or the pirate one here in Norland Square, who's, I'm just blanking on his name right now. You can use the Play Disney Parks app to get a free fortune, and that's how it's going to work in Galaxy's Edge. If you just download that app, and you'll be able to, kind of like the way that the interactive wands work at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios, that's how the app is going to work at Galaxy's Edge. Sorry. So we're heading back toward Big Thunder Trail where we started. And we're gonna see the other two entrances to Galaxy's Edge. And the whole land, it spans all the way from Critter Country, which is way over there, behind the Rivers of America, behind Tom Sawyer Island here, and then all the way back over behind Frontierland, which is where it ends. So all this distance that I'm walking from there to here, if you know, go back behind the park, that's the width of Galaxy's Edge. Here we're passing Big Thunder Mountain again, where we started.
I just read it.
It's getting crowded.
Just go ahead and tell them.
Only buy a bubble.
So Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens May 31st, which I think is a Friday, but for the first like 3 weeks or so, you need a reservation to get into the area, and Disneyland has not announced or revealed how to get a reservation, how to sign up for the reservation, other than to book a Disneyland hotel, one of the 3 hotels on property here, Disneyland Hotel, Grand Californian Hotel, or the Paradise Pier Hotel, and then you'll automatically get a reservation to go into Galaxy's Edge. But then after those 3 weeks, starting on Monday, June 24th, any guests will be able to go into Galaxy's Edge. But I'm sure even when that happens, there will still be a very long line to get in. So it'll still be pretty difficult at that point to get into Galaxy's Edge. But I'm curious to see how they're going to handle the reservations for people who don't have the hotel room, which they said there will be additional reservations for those folks, which would include myself, you know, as an annual pass holder. I wonder how that's going to work, and how many, like if you're limited to just one entry for that entire period, and then how they're going to handle like limiting the time, the amount of time that you can spend in the area, which they said that they're going to do, but they haven't really given an indication as to how that's going to work. And I don't really see how you can limit somebody's time in Galaxy's Edge, how you can make somebody leave, but we'll see. Here's the central entrance to Batuu, under the other new train trestle here that was built a couple years ago. This opened in summer of 2017, right above me here. And the Disneyland Railroad passes over that, but this is going to be the center entrance into the streets of Black Spire Outpost. And we can see this concept art that they have here that has been up for quite a while, a couple years now. Just kind of giving people an idea of what it's going to look like when you pass through these gates when they open. And oh, here's the train passing by. What's up, Jordy? So there's a family taking some photos. We're gonna wait for them to finish. Flip the camera on here. We're here at the middle entrance to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge here at Disneyland. And we're gonna take a closer look at this concept art here behind me. We're gonna flip the camera back around. Ooh, here we go. So like roughly right around here is where Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is. So that's where we started. Then we came off and I walked down this way all around underneath where the end of the concept art is, all the way around, and we went to this side, which is where Critter Country is, and then we walked all the way back down around here, and now we're standing about here-ish, which is where the central entrance is, and then there's another entrance over here roughly. And then so once you enter into Black Spire Station, this is Black Spire Outpost. This is where what you're gonna see. This area here is the first thing you'll see when you enter Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And then you have the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run attraction up here in this building. And then over here is where the Rise of the Resistance attraction is. And then this area is just the marketplace with all the little shops. And the cantina is, I think, back around. I think this is the cantina, pretty sure. And then there's more shops and stuff over here. So that's what it's gonna look like when we get to go inside there. And like I said, it takes place during the sequel trilogy, the ones that Disney made recently, episodes 7 through 9. 9 is of course coming out later this year. And I was kind of bummed out that they said it during the sequels, but I kind of understand why Disney would want to focus it on the movies that they made. And also kind of setting it in the furthest point in the Star Wars timeline so far kind of allows them to incorporate everything that came before. So you'll get stuff from the sequels, the First Order, the Resistance, but then you can also have elements of stuff that came before, like the Empire, the Rebels, and then before that, Clone Wars stuff with the Republic and the Separatists and things. They can refer to all of that, basically all of Star Wars history, because it is the furthest point in the timeline. By the way, as we pass by here, this is the smoking area right now at Disneyland. along the Big Thunder Trail, and this is going bye-bye in just a few weeks, at the beginning of May. You're not going to be allowed to smoke anymore in Disneyland, and personally, I couldn't be happier about that. I've been wishing for this for a very, very long time. I don't think people should be smoking at all in the parks. So I'll be happy to say goodbye to that. Let me read some of the comments here. Can we say, oh, what happened? Mr. Fulton said he has some awesome news to share with you today. What's the news, Mr. Fulton Mraz? Would you be able to meet Mickey Mouse as well as Minnie and Pluto, says Ethan and Donald Duck. Maybe we can walk over to Toontown and see if they're around. Okay, we've walked down some more of the Big Thunder Trail, and we're gonna take a left here. So that way goes to Fantasyland, but this way is the third entrance to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Oh, and they're doing some more stuff here too. They're getting ready. They're prepping. This will be open in a month and a half, or a little under 2 months. Right here. I don't know what these are all about. I like this old wagon parked here, tied more into the Frontierland aspect, obviously, than Star Wars. And it says Wilderness Expeditions and Delivery Service, which is a reference to Walt Disney's initials, WED there, obviously. But then here you got the east side entrance to Galaxy's Edge. This one's almost kind of like monolithic, like it almost kind of reminds me of a Rebel base. These giant doors, like the ones on Hoth or whatever. And then, I don't know if that plate above there is going to say something, or they're just going to leave this side completely themed to Frontierland, and then once you step through here, you start to see Batuu. I just can't wait to go through those doors. Like I was saying earlier, next week, a week from right now, we're going to be in Chicago for Star Wars Celebration. And we're expecting some big news about Galaxy's Edge to come out of that as well. Maybe up to and including how we can get a reservation to go in if we're not staying in the hotel, which I'm very curious to know. Let's keep going here. We're gonna head into Fantasyland. Somebody asked to meet Donald and Mickey and Pluto. Maybe we can find it. Actually, it might be more likely out on Main Street. To meet Mickey in Toontown, you got to go through his whole house. But out on Main Street, they're usually out and about at this time of day, I think. So we can head around back down to Main Street to Town Square. Arlie Darlington says, thanks so much. I needed a walk through heaven this morning. You got it. I'm happy to be here. Probably coming back tomorrow as well to do the Easter egg hunt, which starts tomorrow. It's called Egg Extravaganza. And they have one hunt per park. There's one here in Disneyland, one across in Disney California Adventure, and then one in downtown Disney. So tune in for that. We'll probably do a live stream of at least one of those tomorrow. And then the Astro Orbiter is reopening tomorrow as well. Does anyone question you talking to yourself? I think people are smart. I think people know that I'm talking to internet people. I don't know. They see me carrying this big gimbal around. in this day and age, I think people understand there's some live streaming happening occasionally. Here's King Arthur Carousel on the left, and we got Pinocchio's Daring Journey on the right. And here we are, we're square in the middle of Fantasyland. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride over there on the left, and then Peter Pan's Flight, Snow White's Scary Adventures on the right. And there's a big scrim in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle still. They're still cleaning that up, giving it a nice new paint job. And hopefully that'll be open again soon. We'll see the castle again within the next couple months, hopefully by May. We'll get the castle open again. Now, I don't know if we can go through right now. It changes like every week whether we can cut through. Yeah, we can go through. Let's go through to the wishing well. So sometimes this walkway is closed while this construction is happening, but not today. Now we can go right through out to Snow White's wishing well here. There's the 7 dwarfs. There's the wishing well.
You go like bling bling. More bling than that.
Okay, we're heading out to the front of Sleeping Beauty Castle, which is also covered up in a big scrim with a concept art painting on it. So you get an idea of what the castle looks like without actually seeing the castle when you come to Disneyland right now. There's the Astro Orbiter dead in front of me there, dead ahead. And they just finished a refurbishment on that too. Apparently it's supposed to reopen tomorrow. So we'll be back here to check that out. Now we're at the hub, which is kind of the center of the park here. Some nice spring flowers, some pink flowers around the hub here. And there's a horse-drawn trolley coming through. And you can see the castle's still covered. And like I said, hopefully within the next few weeks to a month, I'm hoping they'll take that down. We can see the castle again. We're gonna turn around here. We'll pass the partners statue with Mickey and Walt dead ahead here. And continue down Main Street. We could spot some of the characters as requested. Somebody asked to meet Mickey and Donald. And we can, at the very least, we can see them, I think. There's Walt and Mickey. And there's Goofy. And here's Main Street. With this nice new brickwork on the ground surrounding these tracks. The bricks were installed last year. And it kind of gives guests a good idea of where to stand when they need to get out of the way of these trolleys coming through. Here's Esmeralda, the fortune teller in the Penny Arcade. So if you, like I said, if you download the Disney Parks, Play Disney Parks app, you can get a free fortune from Esmeralda. I would do it right now, but I'm using my phone to stream. But you just download the app and you tell it when you're in front of Esmeralda here, and she'll move her hand there and she'll spit out a free fortune, which is great. And that's just kind of to get people to be prepared for Galaxy's Edge, which is going to be making use of the Play Disney Parks app a lot more than other lands. It's the first land that was built with Play Disney Parks app in mind, so. Be good to be ready for that. There he is. There's Goofy right now. He's in his Mickey's 90th birthday outfit for the Get Your Ears On Mickey and Minnie celebration here at Disneyland. Taking some pictures with people. And then there's somebody else over here. Let's see who this is. I see people lining up. Oh, it's Pluto. All right. We got one of the requests at least. Pluto, Pluto. Here we go. There he is.
Did you show him your pin? Look at your pin.
Just lick that kid's butt. All right, so that's Pluto. He's hanging out here next to the Opera House in Town Square at Disneyland. And we're at the 45-minute mark, so I've got to wrap it up here. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. And happy National Walk Around Things Day, which is today. And, you know, stay tuned over the next weeks, months. There's a lot of big stuff coming up here at Laughing Place. And the first big thing is going to be a week from now at Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. Just a ton of news coming. You're going to have the Episode 9 trailer and title, and then there's going to be a panel about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. There's going to be a panel about The Mandalorian, the Disney Plus show. Just a whole bunch of stuff. And then in just a couple months, less than a couple months, we're going to be here at Disneyland for the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and that's what this is all about. Thank you so much for down with me and checking it out today, talking about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and our expectations. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks, Doobie. Talk to you soon. This is Mike with